Hello, we are back, ready to do another star on Mary Mantle. This is Mary Mantle's consecration, and there's 46 stars on her beautiful mantle. And today we are doing star number 30, and it is for poverty. Am I on the right star? Yes.
And if you look
Poverty.
on the link, you'll see the history of all of that. And there's also videos to explain the consecration if this is the first time that you're joining
I
us.
think we are on star 29, detachment. Did we do detachment? We did that yesterday. Okay, so we're on 30. Lord, free me from the seduction and fleeting comfort of materialism, which few people ever confess. Even the rich man who saw your face and heard your words said all that you have and sell all that you have and distribute it to the poor, and you will have a treasure in heaven. Then come follow me. Grew sad and walked away. Protect me from the fearful thoughts that hiss in my ears. God will not provide. For they keep me from giving away what I do not need. Free me from the whispers caressing me with delusion. It is God who has blessed you with many possessions. You have worked hard and deserve to keep and enjoy what you've earned. Is the poor woman stooped over in the heat of the fields day after day, her hands afflicted with sores and arthritis from fruit picking, any less deserving? Has she not spent herself in long years of hard labor as well? Who are the poor, Lord? You were among them, and you were a brother to them. Your mother too was poor. From the heights of your divinity, where you reigned over all, you descended to the dregs of earth, where you had nowhere to lay your head. You, the King of all richness, stripped yourself of heaven, imprisoned yourself in a human body, and having come of age, left everything, even your poor home and beloved mother, to preach the good news. Being the center of all that is, you made yourself most present with those on the outskirts, the throwaways, the cast aside. You paid special care to those who were hungry, needy, ill, too young, too elderly, forgotten, and you still do. Who are the poor, Lord? You say I must help them. I see your poor in the faces of those who have little to nothing in this world. I see them on the streets searching through garbage, working thankless jobs for little pay. But I know that they are everywhere, in those who are ignored because they have no noticeable beauty, talent, or character, in the lonely girl who has lost all sense of self-worth, in the narcissistic man who thinks to speak only for himself, in the woman surrounded by cigarette butts who cannot peel herself away from her TV screen. Ooh. There are so many poor, Lord. They are legion, like a swelling tempest. Their cry grows more chaotic and insistent each day, with needs bigger than my small heart. Free me from my fear of passivity, Lord, from the excuses that they deserve their lot, that I can do nothing to help them or am too busy. Oh God, what if that poor person were me?
Wow.
Wow.
Was a sad
Amen.
reading. Um, you know, my mother was poor. Her mother worked 2 jobs in a factory, and she was a waitress and worked in a factory. And my mom was left alone with her brothers. We go down the corner store for her lunch, and the only child of divorced parents. Um, and but you know, and I grew up basically poor. You know, my mother didn't have much, and I didn't know I was poor, you know. I struggled as a single parent, even though I was a nurse. I made like 20 and 30,000 in the beginning of my nursing. And my kids said they didn't, you know, my Rick always says, I didn't know we'd have money. I had Christmas presents every Christmas. You know, poverty is also a state of mind, you know. It isn't always just dollars and cents. Um,
I think so too.
yeah, my mom was, we were happy. We had fun. We were running the neighborhoods, going to the wood. I mean, you know, we had a fun childhood. Was it difficult at times? Sure. But even kids that aren't poor, they have, you know, there's divorce, there's, no one has the perfect life, and poverty is just one that is not, I don't know if it's not as familiar to some, but um
Yeah, I believe that too. I
yeah,
believe that it is a state of mind because a lot of people have everything in the world and they're so unhappy and they're very poor, but they're poor in spirit. They're poor because all these things can't satisfy their inner need. Like,
mm-hmm.
I feel right now, I mean, I'm not rich, you know, I'm not, but I don't need any more. I'm very happy
Mm-hmm.
um, with being blessed with what God blessed me with and is still blessing us with. And we don't need all that extra. I mean, it just gives you more problems, I think, anyway. But it is nice
Same
to
here.
have
I mean,
something to go on vacation and stuff with. But if you don't have it, then we have beautiful beaches here.
we
You
do.
know,
Nature is beautiful. My mom used to say that all the time. She'd be like, we live near people that have money, and she's like, I can go to the same places they can go to. I get the same things. My mom always knew how to do that. Um, I went from a 3-bedroom villa into a little 500 square foot place, and I'm a little overloaded with junk, which I'm trying to get rid of. Um, but it's hard because I've been slowly, getting smaller and smaller. I only kept the furniture I really wanted, and that kind of stuff. Um, but I don't care. Like, I don't live in the most perfect neighborhood, but it doesn't bother me. I
I
am
don't either. Yeah.
my happiness is in God, in my next life. Like, I'm not very attached. Yesterday was detachment. I'm not that attached to this life. Now I think younger people are, and I think when I was younger I was, but not compared to some, though. I was never compared to some. But you know um I don't have enough to give away. I mean, I give some charity, but and I know a lot of people feel that way, and it's tough to survive today. You have to pay your taxes, you have to pay your electric bill, you have to pay, and just knowing where you want to give your
Yeah.
charity.
Yes.
um but it really, the richest people are sometimes the most empty people, and poverty is something that builds your character, can build your character. I mean, I did work with a lot of poverty down in South Florida. I was a home health nurse, and I would go to homes to give diabetics, and I saw a lot of poverty, and there was a lot of apathy where people were young enough to work, they could have worked, but they chose not to. Some people choose to live in poverty, and some people it's mental illness, so there's all different reasons for poverty. But
Well,
it's
yeah.
not, it's not, it's not the worst thing in the world. to be poor, the way I was poor, I guess. Now the poor over in other countries where they don't have water, that kind of poverty, I mean, that's something I couldn't even really understand, you know. I really can't.
Well, here it also says in our reading today, not it doesn't just talk about the poor, it also talks about um things that we need to like get rid of also. Like
Yeah,
here,
that I
it
could
really
do.
hit me here because like I was telling you, I'm
Yeah,
fighting right now with the demon, with the demon of the TV.
that I can do.
I'm stuck on these K dramas, and day after day after day, I have tons of laundry out there to fold. I have a kitchen full of dirty dishes. I have so many chores in my house, and I'm just sitting here watching the TV because I got to see what happens in the show. And I'm thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. I'm taking a break after the show is over because I can't do it anymore. And right here, God is speaking to me. It says, um where is it, the narcissism man who thinks to speak only of himself, and the woman surrounded by cigarette butts, well, I don't smoke, who cannot peel herself away from her TV screen. That's me, Lord. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's really speaking to me.
Well,
So
you know what you could do. You know what you could do, and this is what I would do. You know, when sometimes I turn off the TV for like a whole week. There's nothing for me to watch. I'm just
yeah,
bored of everything. Um, and so what do I have left? Um, my faith, because that's what interests me the most. So I get
yeah.
informed. My son said him and his wife canceled Netflix from all the crap that happened. So now they only watch forum.org. There's movies on there. There's at least it's enriching your soul. So
Yeah,
if
you're
you're
right.
going to watch something, get yourself to watch
Well, I
something that
used to listen in my with my iPods and work around the house and do my stuff, but now with these stupid K dramas, you got to read. You can't even just listen to something because you got to
well,
be
sometimes
reading.
you just have to tell yourself no, Jeanette.
Because it's in Korean, you got to read it. You got to know what's going
but
on.
but sometimes you just have to tell
I
yourself
know,
no,
I know, I know,
you
I
know.
know, I know.
And
You got
it's
to be
not easy.
strong.
I'm not saying it's easy,
You got to be
but
strong.
but but you don't have a parent to tell you no. You have
I
to be
know.
that parent to yourself.
Yeah,
And that's what I do with myself. No, you can't spend that. No, you can't buy that. You can't go to antique stores because you know you'll see something you want and you have no room. So I tell my kids, don't buy me. And sometimes they still buy me stuff. And I'm like, I can't keep it. I'm going to have to throw it away. Like I tell them, do not buy me things because they're always wanting to buy me stuff. And I have no room. So, that's why I wanted a little place too. I'm like, I don't want a bigger place because then I will just buy more junk.
yes, yes.
So, you get
So
tired after a while, you get tired of
yeah,
it, and
yes,
you're
you
like,
do.
I
You
just don't
do.
want the creative part, the fun part of making things, that I like that. And we're lucky that we have the ability to do that. Some people can't follow their things. So, the best we can do is to sacrifice
Yes.
more, get rid of some stuff.
And give more, give more. It's awesome to create and to see and to have and cherish for a little bit, but then when someone's in need, you have three coats, give two away. You don't need three coats, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I could easily give things away. I can't give money away. I can give a little bit. I give a little bit. But
yeah, yeah,
you
same
know,
here.
and the more people are blessed, that's why the more you have, the
Yeah,
more you're responsible for when you get to heaven. Like if you're rich and you're not and you're just
yeah.
filling up bank accounts,
And you need to have discernment and wisdom. And tomorrow's star is the star of wisdom. So that's going to be a good
yeah.
one to read because
But um the thing that we can do is, Jeanette, when we talked about before, having something in your car like some water, some um toothpaste or whatever for homeless people. Today, homeless people that are older can go into like gyms and take showers and all, because if you have the silver slip sneakers, so you could tell people about that. You could write it on a card and put it, say you can go take a free shower at any gym. You just register with your Social Security or your Medicare or whatever. If they have Medicare, they can just go in and take showers. And you know, some homeless people don't want to live in a home. There's mental illness and they don't want to live in places. So you could do little things like that. There was one lady, I was dressing her wound. She wouldn't let me do it after like 2 days. She was like, no, I don't want you to. I said, but it's going to get infected. She didn't want to. Some people just, they're mentally ill, and you there's not a whole lot you can do for those, except maybe give them a bottle of water. Or one time I was in Publix, and this lady outside was begging. I said, come on in and I'll buy you lunch. I bought her lunch. You know, you could do little things, you know, for people. So
Yes. So
all
today,
right.
guys, ponder on poverty and where you are poor in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. So it could be, poverty can come in many forms.
But
So
see where you can give.
yeah,
See where
and
you can
also
give.
see where you can give and say a rosary sometime today.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Have a great